right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. Well, in the community, we have a saying, you can't make this stuff up. That's what we often say. You just simply cannot make this stuff up. And by the way, somebody asked me what happened in one video some time ago, a reason why I wear this. Well, the other day, I was in the gym, and I was working out, and I heard something pop in my elbow. And I'm just hoping that it's nothing serious. I'm just going to give it a few days and keep it iced, all right? But that's not the reason why I'm here. Check this out. Yesterday I reported on this. They're not worried about the guns. They're regulating the ammunition because guns are no good without ammunition. Well, as if we haven't went from bad to worse, check this out. Now, the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, under the guise of a cyber threat, is thinking about taking control of the U.S. elections. Now, when you look at Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and you look at the crowds that these two are actually drawing, it's obvious that the American public has already chosen who they want for president. Zero hedge. I'm going to go ahead and report this, all right? Zero hedge. Check this out. Why is the DHS preparing to take control of the U.S. election? What do you do when you're the dictator or dictatorial leader of an oppressive government regime looking to maintain power while simultaneously preserving the facade of free and open elections? Well, if you're the Obama administration and you look for avenues to nationalize state-run elections infrastructure, but you can't just seize controls of the infrastructure that has been successfully run at the state level for a couple of hundred years. That kind of stuff only happens in Venezuela, and we're better than that. No, you need a catalyst for this kind of blatant power grab. Coincidentally, look at this, a catalyst just like the FBI's warning a couple of days ago about foreign hackers, read, quote unquote, Putin, penetrating state election systems. The grab is on. Listen to this. Then once you've defined a supervillain, all you need is a couple of politician cronies to go on a fear-mongering tour to whip the electorate into a frenzy. And wouldn't you know it, Harry Reid recently did just that by sending a letter to the FBI voicing concerns that the Russian government may be looking to tamper with the upcoming presidential elections. Per the New York Times, Harry Reid's letter to the FBI included the following. Listen very closely. I have recently become concerned that the threat of the Russian government tampering in our presidential elections is more extensive than widely known, and may include the intent to falsify election results. The combination of all these things might be just enough to scare American electorate into forfeiting another chunk of their individual sovereignty to the elite. Political classes in Washington, D.C., while plundering us one step closer to the inevitable game of fundamentally transforming our constitutional democracy into a police state. Now, first of all, we don't have a constitutional democracy. We have a constitutional republic, and there's a difference. And if you've heard me once, you heard me say it and echo it 1,000 times, why they keep trying to cram democracy down our throats. I just don't get it. It's like the word republic is a cuss word today. Per the Washington Examiner, this sort of scenario is precisely what the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Jed Johnson discussed at an event hosted by the Christian Science Monitor earlier this month. We should carefully consider whether the election system, our election process, is critical infrastructure, like the finance sector, like the power grid. There's a vital national interest in our election process, so I do think we need to consider whether it should be considered by my department and others critical infrastructure. There's no one federal election system. There are some 9,000 jurisdictions involved in the election process. Jeff Johnson's comment related to the election infrastructure can be viewed below, and his comments can be viewed here. You know, I can go on and on and on. The article is quite extensive, quite long. I'm going to include the link down here below. I want you to go ahead and read it. But the fix is in. Remember, I told you that the fix is in. And people ask, Pastor, why do you speak about certain things? You have a diverse category, diverse areas of things that you speak on. Why do you speak on these things? Because it's about information. It's about truth. Knowledge is power. And in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. And that's the reason why I speak about things like this, because the scriptures teach that we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And I am not about to sit up here and live one day to the next and let it go by without investigating truthful knowledge. I love the truth. You should love the truth, regardless of its social, political, economic, or religious, whatever aspect it is. Because ultimately, your ability to be able to accept truth will define the person who you are. And once you know the truth, if you are upset enough, then all of us will wake up out of this passive, lethargic state, and we will become doers. We will actually do something, not only to preserve ourselves, but to preserve the ones that we love and care for. And we all know that our mainstream news media is literally hijacked, and it's out for the special interest in the establishment. And that's the reason why you have so many people who have independently taken it upon themselves to come on here and make the painstaking task and the sacrifice to be able to report to you the information. That's like I reported information on the ammo yesterday. And somebody said, dog, Pastor Dow, you beat the NRA, you beat this person, you beat these people, and it's not even up nowhere. Is it really true? And then I had another man come right behind me with an article confirming what I just got finished put up. Yes, it's true. I know that today some things sound so asinine. It sounds so outlandish. Believe me, I know that it do. I know that it does, excuse me. But no matter how inappropriate it sounds, no matter how out of bounds or out of touch it may be, we've got to inform you, because see, the truth is the masses, they love the sleep that they're in. And I'm not after them. I'm not trying to even talk. I'm here to present information to hope that something will stimulate your conscience, that will take you out of the passive state of being in the matrix. And you would literally wake up to try to do whatever you can to preserve yourself and your loved ones. That's the reason why I'm here. And another reason, I can't help it. I'm a pastor. I can't help it. I have a genuine love for righteousness and a genuine love for people. I just can't help it. It's just part of my makeup. But at the same time, I'm also in the process of producing mature-minded people, people who are benefited, not be a burden to others as well. You know, that's one thing that the word speaks about, is not being a burden. You need to do everything you can to prepare so that you don't be a burden, because there ain't too many benevolent people out there, especially when crap hits the fan. I hope I said something to stimulate thought, and I hope you really get this. They are planning on stealing the elections, just like I told you. After all, if they already stole the Democratic nomination from Bernie Sanders, and even though I think that Bernie Sanders was the greatest stage player, better than Hollywood could ever produce, I think that they still stole the thing, and it was in the making to do it, and the fix is in. What we should be amazed about is how these people can sit up with a straight face and act like that the people are really truly involved in this process, when I told you over 15 years ago, and I'm telling you now again, that the election process is rigged. You are selecting, but they have elected. And all we're doing is watching these gangsters. But you know what? We're watching these gangsters get away with just literal murder, political murder, and nothing is ever done about it. How can Hillary Clinton still be sitting up there running? How can she still accept the nomination of the Democratic Party when they've been caught red-handed? And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, how can she run for the Senate down in Florida? Well, I mean, there's no shame today. Today it seems like the more wicked you are, the more blessed you are, and the more you get away with in this country, and the more righteous you are, you've got to pay for being good. It's a sad, sad shame. You just heard the truth, and it's the truth straight way. Wake up.